I'm on live right now. It's been a bit of a palaver, guys, on tonight, sadly. Been a few problems with the software. What can you do? Beholden to software and hardware. It's been one of those days. Let's have a look if we are live. It says I'm live. Ray here from Man City Fan Chat. Hey, fantastic. Within 30 seconds I had a down click. It's great. These sad individuals got nothing better to do with their lives than come on within 30 seconds. First one. Yeah, first one. Down tick. I think someone must have it set so that as soon as the notification comes, bang, get in there, get in there, get in there. You know, why don't, as people say, the old phrase, go and get a girlfriend. Or a boyfriend, whatever you prefer. Or go and get a life. Anyway, managed to get on eventually. It's been a real mess with the software I've been using, where it didn't want to work tonight. It was not having any of it. And in that situation, there's not really much you can do, sadly. So I've had to redo everything. It's taken me half an hour to sort that out. But anyway, we are live. Let's see who is online. Is anybody online yet? Just takes a minute or two to get going. Right, 2 minutes in, got 3 people online. 4. Danny, how you doing, mate? How you doing, Danny? First one to get on board. It's a bit late. I was hoping to be on at around 9 o'clock. Sadly, the software let me down on my phone. No idea what it was. You know, it's one of these things that you can do. I'll briefly mention the agendas. 3 or 4 people watching. So we've got Gundogan. We'll chat about Gundogan and his future at City. Aguero, Sergio Aguero, in the 3rd place playoff in the Copa America. I think quite possibly his last chance of winning a major international trophy. Could well have gone. I mean, is he going to still be around well, I think there's another Copa next year, so he can have another go next year. And then we've got, let's share this so people know we're on live. But yeah, so is he going to be around, or is he going to pack it in? It's going to be interesting to see what Sergio decides to do. Could actually be that most people are actually watching the footy tonight. Let's see Sergio. Well, we'll see. Just get a few messages out to people so they can see what's going down. So if they want to get on board, they can. That's enough people. So let's see if anybody else wants to come on board. Otherwise, like I say, 8 people watching, no one commenting. It could be a quiet night. Could be an early night for me. It's not a bad thing, actually. Been running around last few days like nobody's business. How you doing, Danny? No comments? So yeah, Bernard. Hey Bernard, how are you doing? Nice to get you on board, Bernard. Nice to get you on board. It's a bit of a late one. Hi Andy, hope you're well. My apologies again. The stream, the software wouldn't work, so I'll just put that in. My apologies. Streaming software went wrong. Hakuna Matata day trip. Mamba. Well, guess what, Hakuna? I'm not Andy. Yeah? I'll have you know, I'm not Andy. I've got less hair, but there's less of me. But enough in the right places. So, Hakuna, I take that as a slight, mate. Anyway, Bernard, got more tan. I don't know, I'm getting it. Well, I've been out a lot of the day, mate. I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting. It's the lighting. It's that sun. But it's not been that much. You know, it's really sunny this morning. And out in London, we went up to Camden Town. I used to love going there when I was, 30 years ago. And even like 15 years ago, it was still really, really good. Hi, Kamal. Hope you're well. Yeah, but like anything, time's moved on. You know, a lot of the people that were there when I first started going, they moved on, passed away, or been forced out. Rents are absolutely crazily high. Hi, Cole. Hi, Cole. How you doing? I hope you're very well, having a decent weekend. Yeah, the rents have gone up crazily. And they're now getting big names in. You know, I think have you got All Saints, Abercrombie and Finch. You got a KFC there. You're getting more and more of the bigger names coming in. And personally, I think that's spoilt it a fair bit for me. Prices, because the rents are so high, prices for stuff is ridiculous. And now I just cracked my ankle. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Banged my ankle again. Now, someone kicked me there 2 weeks ago, and it's still swollen. So I'm gonna have to go and see my brother, who's an ankle doctor. Hi, Chris. How you doing? I hope you're really well. Bernard's off to City, so to get a picture of the trophy with my lad. Absolutely fantastic, Bernard. If you can, it'd be nice to share it around on Twitter. Andy Caddy, I hope Gundogan stays longer. I like him too. Mike James, nice to get you on. My ankle's killing me, guys. I just seen it on the screen. Wow, it's about double the size of the other one, and it's a funny old thing. It hurts like hell, but I still go running and boxing and whatever, but it hurts like hell. But it needs to be looked at. Could be, who knows what the damage is, ligaments or something in there. But there's something really wrong inside. And I know what my brother's going to say. The first thing is rest. And I hate that. 6 weeks rest. I hate that. Bernard, yeah, I like Gundogan, but not happy about his loyalty. Yeah, I think it's a two-way street, Bernard. He wants more game time. You know, I think that's what one of his issues was getting game time. Because in the first part of the season, when Fernandinho was fit, Gundogan, I don't think he got, enough the way he wanted. And now we've seen when he gets a bit of game time, he's a class act. He's an absolute class act. So yeah, I was saying about Camden Town. So I went out. I was looking for some clothes. In effect, a costume, because I'm doing some work in a castle in a few weeks' time for a couple of days, and I just thought, yeah, I'll try and get some decent clothes. I've got loads of nice stuff, but I just thought for once I'd try and go in a bit gothic style, a bit steampunkish, and get a full length. I won't call it a trench coat or a frock coat, but a really embroidered, or I'll look at these black and gold or red and gold long coats, really nice, big frilly shirts and all that. And I thought, yeah, I'll really go for it. And I went to have a look at some shops, and you look at the stuff, and a lot of the stuff is from China, and they're buying this stuff for like 20-30 quid a pop and selling it for best part of 200 quid. Absolute joke. If I had the time, I'd buy it from China myself. And take that. It's a bit of a risk though when you first buy it. You don't know the supply, you don't know the size. But that's a much better route, because they're getting it from China anyway. So if any of you guys know any goths out there, or any guys big into the steampunk, I'm looking for a decent price retailer of clothes. So I really would like it's not a trench coat really, but a frock coat, trench coat, long one with tails at the back, and embroidering, nice braiding or embroidering on the chest, shirts that are not going to cost me 60-70 quid, with frills and just nice, and so it looks like it was from a nobleman from the 1800s. That's my take on this work at the castle. I want to look like I belong in the castle. It's going to be thousands and thousands, of people there. It could be between 5,000 and 10,000 or even more. So it's going to be a huge event, and I just like to feel I look the part. Kamal, I'm 16 and every time I play sports, my ankle is swollen. Sometimes I can't even walk. The doctors are useless. It's very difficult with doctors. I mean, doctors generally say rest it, rest it, rest it. You need to see a specialist. Fortunately, my brother is an ankle specialist. He does sports injuries and surgery on all sorts of ankle injuries. So, he'll have a very good idea. But usually the first thing is have some rest. Have a few weeks rest. Can't do that. Too old for resting. Mike James, I hurt my ankle from skipping every day. Well, stop skipping, mate. I hurt my Achilles from skipping. It's really painful, but I'd still do it, because I just think I'll get over the pain and then, it'll be easier after that. It's not happened yet. David played for years with absolutely a lot of players play with dodgy ankles and other bits and pieces. Bet you bought a shell suit. No, I didn't, but I didn't. What I bought today, I bought a white shirt. Just an ordinary white shirt from a Thailand kind of style from the Far East. Nice and light cotton with a little design here on the just under the collar, something like this, a V-neck collar, with a bit more of the chest exposed, and some white trousers to go with it. Nice and cheap, nothing expensive. I can't go as a princess, mate. Prince Ray. Danny, Princess. Actually, there's a lot more women's stuff, and I thought I could really make an appearance because the stuff there. I mean, you can buy any item of women's clothing with spikes sticking out, anything you want. It's absolutely bonkers. Some of these shops that I frequent. Actually, I went into one shop, and my kids and my wife were a bit behind me, and I thought I'll just go into a few shops before they catch me up. And I'd gone around the corner, got into this shop, and it was an adult shop. And my kids came round and they wanted to go in. And the guy said, "You can't come in, you're too young." I was just looking at metal bracelets and stuff. I just want to have that steampunk stroke gothic kind of effect. We'll wait and see what I get. Mike James, Gundogan's pass over the top often. He plays inside their fullbacks to our wings. Absolutely, Mike James. When he's got space and time, those little dinks over the top are fantastic. Hey, don't worry, Simon. Don't worry at all. The Gundogan of golf chip. Mike James, haven't skipped for 45 weeks. Finally healing. Are good. I hope you sometimes it depends. You're only 30, Mike. You need to rest. You've got plenty of your life ahead of you, and you've got to rest it. Don't worry, Hakuna. Trust me, I've been called a lot worse than that. Flash in the chest hairs is nothing there. I got rid of it, all the chest hairs last week, but they're coming back. You were waiting on the other stream, Mukund. Yeah, I said there's a few problems with this. What I'm using, Switcher software, and they wouldn't recognise me. I don't know what happened. They just wouldn't recognise me, so I've had to start all over again. And I tried actually in that half an hour that I was trying to get on, tried with 2 other different apps, but they wouldn't work. Not bonkers, more bondage. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I did go into a bondage shop, one of those, and they wouldn't let my lad in. He was wondering what was going on, but it's one of those. I mean, I'm old enough to know what I'm doing. I'm very good, Mukund. You want to know what I've done? Oh, come on, guys. Come on, goons. I've got to say this first. What's gone wrong with Andy's goons tonight? Have they been put off the scent because I came on late? I've only got 10 down ticks. Come on, guys. You're letting the side down. You're letting Team Bully down, guys. Come on. Get some down ticks in, you bullies. Anyway, how am I doing? I had a busy day, mate. Busy day. Went out for a run this morning. I got a nice 3-mile run in. Did a video that's going to come out tomorrow. So hopefully that'll have to do some work on that tonight and tomorrow morning. Get that set out for tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow morning it'll be out. And then we went with the family over to Camden Town. Spent a lot of the afternoon and early evening in Camden Town. And then just come back and had some grub. That's plenty to eat. And then, we're going to come back to Manchester tomorrow. And so I think we're going to spend tomorrow morning. My wife wants to go to Tooting to get some food. So I think that tomorrow, breakfast time, between 8 and 10, we'll be down in Tooting for a few hours. And then back up to London and a couple of hours later, heading off to Manchester. So, it's a short stay in London. Never lie. Have they lost, Bernard? Have they lost? I've not watched the footy. I think the game was probably started when we got home and we had to feed the kids. So, look, what has Neville done? I mean, you could look at it this way. England never get past semi-finals in major tournaments. She Believes Cup, how many teams were there? 4. Don't count for me. Big tournament, still semi-final. You can say that's a good achievement. But on the other hand, how many countries are at the level of professionalism and structure that England have? So, has Gary Neville failed? Well, apparently he was brought in to get them to the next level after the semi-final, and he's failed to do that. Should he stay? It's none of my business, really. I don't know if England were at the level they should be. I mean, America won so many competitions. Is it such a bad thing to lose to America? Since they've won, was it the World Cup 3 times, Olympics 4 times, something like that. They're basically hogging all the trophies. Simon, did you hear about the City store? Trophies were supposed to be there today, and City said on Twitter the trophies are not there because of confusion. The confusion was they were in Clerkenwell. The City trophies apparently were in London today. That's what someone said on Twitter. Someone from one of the official supporters clubs. They were down in London, actually not far from where we're living right now. So it's a shame. I could have got, if I had a bit more time, if a bit more notice, I could have gone to have a look. Kamal, do I prefer living in London up north? Up north, mate. Up north. It's a lot more flexibility. Look, I paid for a train ticket today, a travel card. It cost me, was it £13 something? 13 quid. To go. And actually, I only used it for about 7 stops. One way, 7 stops back. Because we spent so long in Camden. We didn't. I didn't use that train ticket so much, that travel card. So it's blooming expensive. My lad, he bought a croissant with Nutella inside. A croissant with Nutella, 3 quid. 3 blooming quid, and he liked it, so he had another one. 3 blooming quid on a croissant with Nutella inside. It is outrageous, And then you get some of the because we're right in the heart of London. You're not going to get these big supermarkets. You get the Tesco Metro or Express or the little ones, Sainsbury's local or whatever they call it, and the local co-op and things like that. But they're blooming expensive. You go in there and you think, some of the prices are double in the supermarket, and it's like they're taking the mick because they can. Everybody's taking the mick because they can. I prefer living up north, I'll be quite honest. Coming to London now and again, spending a bit of time, yeah, it's all right. But you get back up north and you feel like you're home. People are generally more friendly. Here, everybody's rushing around doing their own thing. Smelly, sweaty tubes. It's Manchester for me. Mukund, India versus New Zealand in semis, Australia versus England. Wow. You'd feel that India will get through against New Zealand. I mean, if you ask me, I want New Zealand to win the whole tournament. But I think India will get through. And the other one's really tough to call because England, have they got the mojo back? If they got the mojo back and they go there, I mean, maybe losing those games actually helped England, because if they'd been strolling all the way to the semis, maybe then to lose a game or two, or lose a game in the semi, you're gone. So maybe to get their mojo back, it's really, really good. No, Mukund, I'm wearing, actually, this is a very, I'll show you a bit more. It's not a character, it's just a top. I'll tell you the... Do I tell you the brand? I don't want people to calling me names for brand dropping and saying, "Look, I've got this and that." But it's not. It's just it's a normal top. It might be based upon that design. But I bought this. It's got to be 15 years old, 10, 15 years old. I bought a lot of stuff in the 90s when I had a bit more money, when I had a good business between 95 and 2005. You're not the only Southerner, Kamal. Must be others. Born in Camden, live in Luton. Well, I'll tell you, Kamal, I was in Camden today, and since you're only 16, I can't offer to meet you up because in the summer we're going to spend a lot of time in London, probably 3 or 4 days a week. We'll spend some time up in Manchester with work, some time in Paris. But I was going to say that any guys, if you're knocking around London, or you're coming over and you're having holidays here, if you want to meet up, let's do it. I've already agreed to meet somebody who's coming over for the Community Shield. So we're going to meet him before the game. He's going to be here in London for about 10 days. So I'll spend a bit of time with him, getting some bites and going to the Community Shield with him. So that'd be cool. Cameron Dempsey, nice to see you on. Manchester is wonderful. It is indeed. Simon, what did you do at the time when the Aguero 93 moment happened? I wasn't watching, mate. I wasn't watching. Andy will tell you that. I'd given up. I was so downhearted. Because we were in France at the time, so I couldn't get back for the game. I hadn't, I probably only wait. I mean, even though I've been having season tickets for ages, I couldn't get back to Manchester for whatever reason. My kids were really young. My wife wasn't well back in 2012, so I was in France watching it, and there was only a few minutes to go. We were 2-1 down, and I was so heartbroken because I was thinking, the Rags are going to win, and we're going to just get stick more and more and more and more, and it was so heartbreaking. And like a lot of fans, were leaving the stadium, and I couldn't take it, I'll be honest. And I just thought, we've got a few minutes to go. We didn't look like we're scoring. Had I given up? Yeah, I'd given up. It's my team and everything else, but we'd come so far, and I had so many hopes, and I just couldn't take it. So I turned it off. And then a few minutes later, I thought, once the game was finished, I thought I'd better take my punishment, go back and watch it and take my punishment, because you got to take it. You got to accept when someone else wins. And I turned it on, and the Vincent Kompany was lifting the league. It's crazy, absolutely unbelievable. So that's what I was doing. So a quick look at, let's not get left behind. So Mike James lived near Luton, Leighton Buzzard. Absolutely, Bernard. On that England can beat anyone, and that's why they've been the number one team for the last couple of years or so. But they got found out. It is a test of mentality and pressure. Tom, hi Tom, how you doing? Any update on that third choice? No news. I've not seen anything on the wires that we've got that IBA keeper. I mean, who knows? I think that story originally started with Marker, and they could just be making it up. There is a worry that sometimes the papers in some places make stuff up, or they're the mouthpiece for a club. Who knows? But I'm surprised, because if we were getting him, surely we'd have done it by now. Surely. We're going to start pre-season training now, so surely we'd have got the kid in. Well, the kid is about 35, 36 years old. Surely would have got him in by now. So I'm hopeful that Danny Grimshaw could be third choice. Why not? Danny Grimshaw or Bazunu. Why not? Give one of them a go. Give it to Danny Grimshaw. Let Bazunu go into the EDS. Move forward like that. Mike James, yeah, Luton is pretty rough there. You got Mr. D Teats from Luton. Christmas, where do you think Aguero will go next? Do you think he'll retire at City? He won't retire at City. He'll go back to Spain. He'll go back to his Spain. It's not to Spain, sorry. He'll go back to Argentina, to his boyhood club. Now I'll talk about Aguero. If you haven't seen it, go and watch his goal for Argentina tonight in the third place playoff in the Copa America. Is it against Peru? And yeah, I just briefly saw that free kick. Messi, I think he took a quick free kick, passed it, played it beyond the back line. Aguero came nipping through, rounded the keeper at tight angle, stuck it in the net. And as I said earlier, this year or next, this year could have been his last chance. I think they have another Copa next year for whatever reason. So maybe he's got another chance next year. but at some point soon he's going to retire. Tom, who's going to be our next captain, new captain? It was rumoured a week or two ago that it was going to be David Silva, especially since it's his last season. But for me, I'm not sure. I've said all along, I want it to be KDB. Just fill the screen with me. I want it to be KDB because KDB, for me, is a leader. He demands a high level from the other players. He pushes himself and he'll push the rest of the team. You've seen him shouting at players who make a mistake. Okay, some players can take that badly, but he'll be a leader on the pitch, and I'm sure he'll be a leader off the pitch. So for me, KDB. I wouldn't give it to David Silva for 1 year and then give it to KDB. If KDB's fit, bang, captain, and move on. Gustavo Cortez. Any news on Mario Hermoso? No, I'm afraid. If I remember correctly, he's a defender linked with a few clubs. The talk was, I actually was asked last week. Someone said, you haven't done a piece on Hermoso yet. Why not? Because he's he's a good footballer, and it's rumoured that City might be interested in him. And I said, well, the age is right. Yeah, he's a centre back. We want a centre back. He's tall enough. He's 6 foot tall. He's tall enough. He's 24 years old, playing at Espanyol, and he came through at Real Madrid. Didn't make it there for whatever reason. Went out on loan to Valladolid, and then he's been at Espanyol. But he's made it into Spain's team, national team. He's had 2 or 3 caps for them. But I don't know. I don't know enough about him. He has been linked with other teams besides City. So it's one of those. We'll see. Would it stunt his growth to come to City and play 10 or 15 games? Would he be happy with that? I don't know. I really don't know. Dennis, if I'm being honest, I really don't want Cancelo. I think we should stick with Danilo and Walker. Danilo always plays good. Next year we can buy back Angelo Mafios. Well, Dennis, the thing is, as I see it, Cancelo, we need a right back. Okay, if Danilo goes, and I think a lot of it does depend on that. Cancelo, depends what you read and where you read it. There's rumours that it's far, far away because Juventus are asking for too much money, and there's rumours that it's almost done. So who do you believe? Don't know who to believe. But we need somebody. We need somebody if Danilo goes. The thing for me is thing for me about Maffeo is he didn't have a great season at Stuttgart. They got relegated and he got criticised by the coach for attitude or whatever. So is he going to be good enough by the end of next season to come back? I doubt it. That's just my suspicion. We'll wait and see on that. But City, for instance, like the centre back, if we don't get the deal that we want right now for our centre back, like Harry Maguire, if we want him in his 80 million, we're not going to pay it, then City are prepared to wait. Simon Benson, are you friends with the Steam company? Aye, yes, mate. We're good buddies, best of friends. Kamal, I'm going to be honest, mate. I think I'm a bit too young to know who Frank. Oh, come on, Kamal. You got to know who Frank Bruno is. Harry. Frank Bruno, he's a lovely guy. He suffers, sadly for him, from serious mental health issues. If you get a chance, go and read his book. I read part of his book, and it is, it is a bit of a tale. It goes through some of his mental health issues, and guys, I think it's worth going reading his book if you can get it. I forgot what it's called now. But it is definitely worth going reading Frank Bruno's book and find out a little bit more about Frank. The guy who took on Tyson. Yeah, rocked him, as Harry Carpenter said. Frank Bruno's book is called Let Me Be Frank. Play on words there. Let me be frank. He's frank. He's honest, and he, goes through some of his problems. And you think, wow, he's had to deal with that, and no wonder he's had some certain issues going on in his life if you're dealing with that. Kamal, apparently we're not the only club in Funchal. Yeah, I said yesterday, I'm sure I said yesterday, that there's a potential that Juventus, it could just be Juventus mentioning other teams that might be interested. So I'm going to have a drink. That might be interested in Cancelo just to force City's hand. To force City to pay the money that Juventus want. Because if Holy City are in for him and the guy wants to come to City and he starts playing a bit of hardball with Juventus and going on strike like some people did, like VVD or others have done, apparently gone on strike to force the move, then they've only got one option. If they can say, well, Barcelona are interested or Bayern Munich are interested, to try and force City's hand to pay a little bit extra to get the deal done, just in case he goes somewhere else. But quite honestly, sorry guys, my last Coke, so bear with me. I'm not going to buy Cokes anymore. I'm on the waters again after this. But if City have been speaking to him a lot and they know, and they're speaking to his agent, and they know exactly what the kid wants, they'll know if he's interested, how interested he is in coming to City, and whether he's interested in any other clubs. They know this already, so they know if it's a red herring. They know if Juventus are just trying to up the ante and force City's hand to pay a bit more money. Bernard. Yeah, mate. I missed it, mate. It's one of those things. Living in France had its good points and its bad points. I couldn't go to a lot of games in the early days when we moved to France because my kids were really young. And that was an issue with my kids being so young, 2, 3, 4 years. No, my youngest wasn't even 2. And with my wife not being well at the time, unless we could all go back together, which is what we usually did in the holidays, that's when I would watch the games. So in the summer holidays, half terms and Christmas holidays and stuff, that's when I could get back to Manchester and watch games. But during the year, basically during most of the season, I couldn't do it. So I couldn't leave my wife with the 2 kids. She wasn't well enough. So, family had to come first. And then as the kids got a little bit older, my wife got come to terms with her issues, and she got a bit better. Then she was, more capable of looking after our kids, not my kids. Sometimes I tell her they're her kids. When they're naughty, they're her kids. When they're good, they're my kids or our kids. So yeah, it's a gutter, absolute gutter. But look, I was there for the last 3. I was there in 2014 and 2018. So I got something, and I've been to Wembley loads of times. Seen us lift the FA Cup last season. I've seen us lift all the 4 Carabao Cups, Community Shield. So I missed a bit when we first went to France. But hopefully I've made up for that, and hopefully whenever we get that Champions League, I'll be there. Dennis, I was hoping Kelechi would have developed further and really challenged Vardy, but let's see if Brendan Rodgers can improve him. Yeah, Dennis, he has to. Look, City and Leicester thought he had something. To buy him for 25 million, and City put apparently a buyback clause of 50 million. So, I think they must have thought he had something. I don't know what's gone wrong, but I'll be forever grateful for Agent Kelechi missing that goal against us when we beat Leicester 1-0. Mike James, come on, how dare you? He's a British boxer from the 90s, big black guy. Get his book, read it. Let me be frank. Adam, I could not watch a speech company without... it's a funny thing. In football, it doesn't get to me like that. You show me a cartoon, Toy Story 4, and it hits you right here. The beggars always get me. But I could handle it with company. He's been 11 years. I don't know, it's a bit different. Tom, who do you want as a manager post Pep? Honestly, Tom, it's a really tough call. Is Arteta... if Arteta's been at City for 5 years, let's say Pep does another 2 years, and Arteta's been the number 2 for 5 years, is he ready to move forward? Could well be. Would it be possible that Company comes back? I'd prefer Pep to stay on at least another season, and Company to season or 2, and Company to come back after a stint at Anderlecht and be an assistant under Pep for a year before taking over at City. That would be a really nice thing, I think. KDB, El Capitano Bernard, I agree. Cameron Dempsey, well, I missed that. when we won that day, I was running like Joe Hart. I was on the pitch, and me and my mate just hugged each other. Yeah, absolutely. It was. We went up to Paris after that. We went into Paris on the Champs Elysees. Not many City fans in those days. I think my kids, I'd bought them. I had a lot of because I couldn't go and watch that many games. I used to buy a lot of shirts, a lot of memorabilia, and both my kids had Manchester City bath towels. So we would walk around the Eiffel Tower and the Champs Elysees wearing these Man City bath towels. And yeah, it was a good moment. And then, you know, when people saw I was wearing a Man City shirt, and they sat talking about it, and look, people were generally very pleased for us. Kamal, why do Argentina fail in tournaments? Their squad is amazing, unbelievable. I have absolutely no idea why they keep failing. I just don't know. The defence, it could be the pressure. It could just be the pressure gets to them, and they can't handle it, and they've not looked at sorting that out. Katie Beach, you're playing in shades. I tell you what, mate, I played in my shades half a game of football. I forgot my glasses. We were at the home ground. We were getting ready to go to a match. It was only a friendly. And normally I put my contacts in. And I left my contacts. I forgot. And I had my sunglasses on at the time. So I had to put my sunglasses. Bernard in 93 2019 to my line said, "There's no time when Dzeko scored. That's what I'll call. Hey, get it done, Bernard. 60 years old. Get it done. That autobiography, mate. Kamal, the Brazil squad is world class, but Edison should be playing. Look, you know, if until and unless Alisson makes a couple of cock-ups, I don't think Edison will play. How many City players should running for the Ballon d'Or? Well, Bernardo Silva has to be. Okay, he's not going to be. But the others, I think it's hard to make a strong enough case for anybody. Sterling, no. He's knocking on the door. I think he's going to be up there soon if he can just get a little bit better. But one of the problems is you've got to have won something big. Usually the European Cup or the Champions League or the World Cup or something like that, and that's where it's going to go. Which is a shame because you look at Bernardo Silva. He's won all the domestic trophies in England. He's won the Nations League. He was City's Player of the Season. He was the Player of the Tournament for the Nations League. You know, and he's been fantastic. But will he get a look in? Probably won't even come in the top three. Tom, is Stones good enough? He's always good for 6 months. Then never plays. Yes, it's Tom. He gets injured. Something happens, and you know, look. He also suffered last season with personal problems in his private life. So fingers crossed that he'll get them behind him. We'll see very soon if he's any good, if he's ready and he's back. Bernard said it before me. Alisson will be number one unless he has a few bad games. But unless he has a high-profile bad game in a final of a major tournament, then I don't think he'll get dropped. Kamal, do Argentina have good players but no team? True. Simon Benton, Lan Cheeseman or Ian Cheeseman? Or his team company? They're different, mate. Ian Cheeseman does his vlogs, and he's doing his other stuff now with his pods, and Stephen does a totally different thing. Which one do I watch? Cheeseman. If I watch any, I don't watch much. I'll be quite honest. I've got plenty to do myself. I used to watch Cheeseman's for probably the first 6 months of last season because you're interested, because his vlogs are very interesting, and you're interested to see how he does it because he's a professional broadcaster for so many years, and you want to pick up a few tips here and there. You know, showing a bit of too much chest for you guys, late night chest. Argentina haven't got a good defence. That's right, Chris. Vidya Shakya, how you doing, mate? We need a centre back, right? No, Vidya, we need a right back, mate. You know, we've got one proper right back in Walker who doesn't have any pressure on him. Messi for Ballon d'Or every time for me. That's right, Mike. Hit that like button. We want 30 likes before the stream is over. Bernard, Fernandinho's potential. Yeah, there's talk of Fernandinho going back when needed. Because, I mean, we could go with Stones, Otamendi and Laporte. And when needed, Fernandinho can go back. And we've got Rodri there. So I think we're getting very, very flexible now. Yeah, they are goons, Chris. Let's not worry about them. Mukun, Messi, 51 goals, 22 assists. Can't argue with that. You can't. But, sadly, people do. Was your first choice De Jong? Frankie De Jong was my first choice for defensive midfielder. First choice. First choice for centre back. Mattis de Ligt. Looks like we're not getting either. Vidya, I think we should sign Umtiti. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe people are saying Umtiti's available around 50 million quid. He's a pretty decent player. I can't believe it. I cannot accept it. You know, if he's been sold, it should be 80 million quid, and he's young enough to develop and to learn. I can't believe that. 40 or 50 million quid, Vidya. Can't believe it. Well, doesn't Pep and Company's contracts out at the same time? No, I think Company signed a 3-year contract and Pep's got 2 years. But Pep did say that he might sign an extra year, so that could be, it could fit hand in glove. But as I said, I still want Pep to be here if Company comes as an assistant for 1 year, if that's possible. If Company can not say lower himself, but accept losing that control just to get 1 year as a manager under Pep, as an assistant, sorry. But you could also look at it, he's played 3 years as a captain under Pep. Is that enough? You could argue that's enough, because Pep has got to be using Vincent's knowledge and talking to him because he's his captain. Yeah, Bernard, that could be Arteta say, because he could have gone to Arsenal. It looked, he was nailed on for Arsenal, and it suddenly went, whatever reason, it didn't happen. Who's the greatest manager? Pep. That's it. Arteta doesn't need to rush, because he should be. He's happy under Pep. He's happy with Pep. I mean, who's better than Pep? And unless you can get a really top team, why go to someone like Arsenal to struggle for a couple of seasons before getting fired? Stay with Pep for as long as Pep wants you, as long as you're happy working for him, and then move away to another decent job. I mean, look at the people under Pep in Spain, that they ended up, getting a shot at Barcelona. They ended up getting a shot at the Barcelona job. So, maybe Arteta stays for another 2 years and gets a City job. Tom, who do you hate more, the Rags or the Dippers? I think I hate Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool have overtaken United just because of their fans. Chris Welch accepted and a few others. But there is that delusion, there is that sense of entitlement. I've had fans telling me today that the Champions League is a bigger trophy is what Liverpool did to win the Champions League. Okay, it's better than what City did to win the Premier League and the treble. Some of them will go as far as the treble. And I think, no, guys, that's not true. It's not true at all. What City did to win the Premier League was amazing. To beat Liverpool by, 98 points. That's the second highest points total ever. Winning 14 games back-to-back on the bounce. It's incredible. It's an incredible achievement. And it's harder to win that than the Champions League, even though City didn't win the Champions League. You have one bad game in the Champions League, you're out. You have one bad game in the Premier League, you can still recover. And it's a bigger test. It's a test over the season. And David Silva says the same. Bill Shankly says the same. But some of that entitlement I don't like. I like it, Bernard. I like it. Whoever puts up a fight for our trophies, they're not our trophies, Bernard. Yeah? They might feel like our trophies. Some of them we've held for a long time. Like the Carabao Cup and the Premier League for a couple of seasons, but no. Mike James, City in for Jose Cifuentes and to send him on loan to Girona as he won't have a work permit. Celtic also in from 2.5 million quid, I think, 2.5 million quid. I'm going to talk about him briefly when I catch up on the timeline. Gertiak saying, who do you think is winning the Champions League? Well, we haven't started this season. We haven't started. Let's say Real Madrid. Zidane's back there. They bought a shed load of players. The first 3 or 4 months of the season, they'll be bedding them in, but I think they'll qualify for the next stage, and then they'll come on strong. So Chris Welch for the Ballon d'Or, Messi, Bernardo Silva, Van Dijk. The press, especially in this country, are pushing for Van Dijk, and I don't think he deserves it, quite honestly. I think Messi's your top man. Even though I love Bernardo Silva, Messi's your top man forever. Not Ferguson? No, Pep. Pep for me. What he's revolutionised football, Pep. What he's doing now. What Ferguson had was longevity. He won a lot of trophies at United and Aberdeen, let's not forget that. But he won a lot of trophies at United, but not a lot in the first few seasons. And if Pep was here for 18 seasons, I guarantee he'll win more trophies than Ferguson. But it's not going to happen. We'll be looking to get Pep for another. He'll get 2 more out of him, maybe 3. Vidya, if Mini gets injured next season, will he be at City? I don't think we want him. If he gets injured early and he doesn't come back for the rest of the season, then we can't rely on him. We'll have to move on. Mukund won't be first choice. Yeah, there you go. Tito Villanova, Pep's assistant, replaced him at Barcelona, done very well. Absolutely, Kamal. I thought you were only 16, Kamal. How can you remember that, mate? It was, you must have been a nipper when that happened. Mike James winning the PL takes 38 games with consistency, seal as a knockout. Exactly. Lose for we lost 2 games in the Champions League and we were out. Liverpool lost 4, but then on the other hand, you can say Liverpool lost 1 in the Premier League and they didn't win it, but we won so many. Each has got its own difficulties, but I think the Premier League for me, I've said it many years. I would always take winning the Premier League. If I had a choice of just one, I'd always take the Premier League every single time. Chris Welch, whenever we win something that's not Premier League, it's biggest trophy in the world. Now, some of our fans say nothing when someone else. Absolutely. Look, Chris, if City had won the Champions League and Liverpool had won the Premier League, most Liverpool fans say, who cares about the Champions League? It's the Premier League that mattered. And right now it matters to them. It matters more to Liverpool fans to win the Premier League than it does for City fans to win the Champions League. But if Liverpool had won the Premier League and City won the Champions League wouldn't have mattered it. Yeah, the big one was the Premier League. It's tribal nature of some football fans. Gurtiag Singh, where's Gurtiag Singh gone? The Champions League have more pressure. You play, depends how you look at it. You play some of Europe's elites. It's only at the knockout stages, okay? And Bayern Munich, when Liverpool played them, weren't Europe's elite. Barcelona, yes. Tottenham in the final, they're not Europe's elite. Yeah, Muckin, it would be a big call to appoint Pep Arteta after Pep, but you want it to come through from within, I think. In 5 years at City, 5 or 6 years under Pep, it's coming through. Like Liverpool's boot room. Tom, you see Rodri for season. He does, Tom. Tom, everybody's loving Rodri. The girls are swooning over him. The English language experts are saying he speaks better English than Harry Kane. He's got a level head on him. He sounds really good. He had a slight dig at United. What's not to like? Yeah, Barcelona are comfortable making such calls. Absolutely, Mukund. Video, will Arsene Wenger be a manager of any club? I don't think so. You could see him maybe going to Japan, but what is he, 68? It's very tough, and he's taking time out. It's very tough to come back. And he's a very good pundit, apparently. Mike James, Ferguson was a champion. Well, I don't think at Aberdeen he wasn't. I don't think you could claim him to be a checkbook manager at Aberdeen. At United, yes, he was. The class of 92 helped him out immensely, but he was buying players. Look at Ferdinand, 30 million in, was it 2003? Rooney, 30 million. Juan Sebastian Veron, 35 to 40 million. When City were struggling for anything, and United were spending absolute shed loads. My wife, he says she's going to toss me a sweet now. Go on then. I'm ready. Ready. Throw it. Yay. Sweetie time. Save that for later. If anybody's ever read anything from Damon Runyon, I call my ever-loving wife. Damon Runyon, or Damon Runyon, I call him. Absolutely fantastic author. If you get a chance, read some stuff from Damon Runyon. It's wonderful. My dad got me into Damon Runyon, and never looked back. There's been some films made out of his books, his story. Sorry, but I'll pop his name down, guys. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but he's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He writes in the present tense, which is really unusual. He's really, really good. Sea Dog, how you doing, buddy? Nice to have you on the channel. Messi is the best player I've ever seen, and I can't believe there's going to be anybody better than Messi. I just can't accept that. Bernard, I think we've made plans for post-Pep. Well, I think the plans are, tie Pep down, keep him as long as we can. And we've got a few good fingers in the pies. We've got Vieira managing now. We've got Vincent Kompany managing. We've got Arteta as assistant. There's 3 possible options there. And it's great for City. It's great to have options. Chris, yeah, I think Wenger might retire. He needs to. He's taking time out. Who's the best young player in the world? Wow, I don't know that Gertiag. I don't know. Honestly, I don't watch enough young players. Let's say Phil Foden. There you go. Who would be the ideal Maximund? Who's Maximud? Who would be the ideal centre back right now? I'd either go for Ake. Not say he's available, but a bit of 40 million might get him, or Toby Alderweireld. They'll be my 2. Do you miss Sancho Gertiag? Absolutely not. We got Leroy Sané. I mean, look, Sancho left, and we banged in 100 points the next season. Is that right? 100 points. Or was it last season? We banged in 98 points then. We banged in... Who misses Sancho when you're doing stuff like that? I don't. Hi, Nick. How you doing, buddy? Give me the Premier League 100 times out of 100. Absolutely, Nick. There you go. As Mike says, real long-time City fans prefer the Premier League. A few of the older ones are now saying, well, it's about time we won the Champions League, but they want the Premier League. The polls I've done, Premier League, miles ahead, 80 to 85%. Yeah, we should go for both. Absolutely, we should go for both. Kamal, but if you had the choice, the choice is one or the other. If people ask you that, I want Premier League. Nick, Champions League is a competition of luck, depending on your group, the draw, home and away, legs first. Absolutely. One bad decision. You can argue that allowing Llorenti's goal was... Sorry, I just saw my battery out. Allowing that Llorenti goal was that one bad decision, and that cost us a place in the Champions League. In a Premier League, you've got a chance to get your own back there. A video would have happened if Pep joined City instead of... What would have happened? I think we'd have absolutely smashed it. Honestly, we'd have smashed it. United would not have won. We would have dominated. I honestly believe that we would have dominated. Because Pep has got some average players playing really well. You could argue like Zinchenko and Delph. Not left backs. He's managed to convert them or whatever. He's improved other players. And if he'd come in 2012, wow. Honestly, wow. We'd have won at least a couple more leagues. In fact, to be honest, give Fergie the 2013 season and we'd have won everything ever since. That's my firm belief if Pep had come then. Because he'd have had access to some of the best players in the world. Can't people call Pep a checkbook manager, but if you have the money and need a player, spend it? Absolutely. Anybody would do the same. Ask Jurgen Klopp. Wenger spent money. Everybody spent money. Poch, you see, he hasn't spent money. He's got a checkbook now. He's been given a checkbook and he's spending money. So anybody gets a chance, they spend money. But for me, the Premier League is most important. You want to win top prizes when you're top. Absolutely. Gertiag, I think Joao Felix might... Maybe Gertiag. We're waiting. I want to see another season out of him first before I say he's going to be the next one. Mbappe's already there. Mike James, Pelé is the best player to grace the game. I'd recommend his book. He was better than Messi. Well, it's hard to say, Mike. It's hard to say. Let's be honest. We've seen Messi a lot more. We've seen him live. And obviously with the better coverage of football, we've seen a lot more of Messi than we did of Pelé. But Pelé's got some extraordinary records of his own. Was it 1,001 goals or something? Bernardini, if we win the Champions League, you'll still have Liverpool, United and Forest fans bragging they've won it more. Yeah, you can't win. Don't worry about them. Enjoy it for us. Vidya, if Pep joined City in 2013, would we have signed Walker instead of Jesus Navas? We wouldn't got Walcott. We'd have done better than that. Rashford or Kane? I'd go for... If I was picking one now, for potential... Rashford had potential. 2 years ago, I'd have gone for Rashford. Now, I'd go for Kane because he's consistent. He's proven it. Rashford's not stepped up. Mike James, yeah, Gertig for 130 million. You expect something. Get them likes up, guys. Let's talk about that kid then. And if you want Frank Bruno's autobiography, it's Let Me Be Frank. Mike James, we know Aldo for the next 3 years. In that time, Garcia can be preparing to be the next centre. Absolutely. Sea-Dog, sum up the news. Well, Gundogan. Okay, the news today was Gundogan. There's rumours that he's back in... it was rumours yesterday, actually, but he's back in talks to sign a new contract. Some people are saying, well, we don't want him now because, the question is loyalty. But look, he was worried he's not playing enough, earlier in the season. And then you come to the business end. Maybe you want to focus on the trophies. So he's taken a back step and said we'll talk about it at the end of the season. Let's talk about who should we talk about? So the club want to tie Gundogan down. Okay, let's finish off Gundogan. It says, it was ESPN saying that City's next priority is to keep Gundogan. Even though we've got Rodri, the priority is to keep Gundogan because it's better to keep a player that's used to where you are and it's cheaper to keep a player like that. I'll give you an example. I used to work for a big firm of accountants, and when we hired a new person, we used agencies, and we'd pay 25% of that person's first year salary as commission, 20 to 25%. So if you're hiring somebody for 30 grand and you're paying 20% commission, it's cost you 6 grand. Then you get a person who's not used to your company, still a bit wet behind the ears, and you've got to train them up. It can take them a few months to get into the swing of things. So before you know it, it can cost you over 10 grand in training and everything else, and commissions. It's much better to keep your existing staff if they're good enough. And that's the same with Gundogan. Why take the risk with somebody else who you don't know how they're going to fit in? Other news, Aguero scored a couple of goals. No, he scored a goal today for Argentina against Peru. And it was 1-0, I think, when I saw it. So that's important for Sergio. João Cancelo, depending which rumour you believe, is supposed to be the deal's nearly done. Other people say the deal's far from being done because Juventus are asking for too much money. And the last piece of news was that, I put it on the title, was that kid, that wonder kid. He was a star of the Under-20 World Cup, Cifuentes. I hope I get these names right. When you read them, they don't give them phonetically. So he's a kid from Ecuador, okay, 20 years old. He played in the Under-20 World Cup, and he got the prize for the goal of the tournament. He's been playing in Poland, but a lot of scouts have been watching. Apparently City and Celtic have offered £2.5 million for this guy. So last season he spent with America de Quito in his homeland of Ecuador, but he's keen on a move to Europe. Okay, he's just finished a degree, so he's finished his studies. He said, my aim is to play in Europe. I don't know which club I will sign for yet, either Man City or Celtic. Nothing has been decided yet. At least he's done the name dropping. I deserve my opportunity to play in Europe. It's where I have to be, and my mentality is that I am going to be in Europe for a long time. The problem is the work permit. So yeah, the rumours are, as I think Mike said earlier, or Bernard, that he'll go to Girona because we can't get the work permit. So that would be a shame. But you ask yourself, is there any more information on Cifuentes? Okay, so let's have a look. Cifuentes. That's a unusual name. So what else can I tell you about Cifuentes? Well, he only scored 1 goal in the Under-20 World Cup, but he's played in the... See, the thing is, he'd have to be, I believe, he'd have to be an international to have even a chance of playing for City, and there's not a lot of information around about him. Let's have a quick look. as I said, if he's not played for his country, what chance? He's got no chance because of getting a work permit. Because remember Douglas Luiz, he couldn't get a work permit to come to City, and because he hasn't played for Brazil yet. Even though Pep's sings his praises and think he's really good, without that cap for Brazil, he can't get a work permit. So Cifuentes is going to be in the same boat. And yeah, Girona sounds like an option, even though they've dropped into out of La Liga because they got relegated, which is a bit of a shame for our kids who are going to go there. So let's have a look. So Kamal, most of Pellet's goals were in friendlies. Well, look, it's so long ago we don't know. You know, I've not followed his career really. You know, I saw him. I knew his career in the mid-70s when I started getting to football, but a lot of the stuff he did from '58 onwards or from the '60s, I didn't know much about. You have to read up about it. So, you know, I mean, because he was before our time, people forget. People forget you if you're before our time. It's like people who haven't seen Maradona. They just have to guess how good he was. But couldn't I like to see Navas under Pep? Where Pep would have done all right with him. Gertiag, it was the same for Mbappe when he signed and he plays in the French league. Navas did play under Pep for one season and Pep had him at right back. Barcelona, City, Gertiag. City. Best team in the land and all the world. Vidya, I hope Gundogan does too. Me too. Mike James, I think Gundogan would be great. Kamal, I'm not bothered if he signs or not. Chris, for me, Messi's greatest ever player. Some people are going for Ronaldo because Ronaldo has won it. Nah, Messi's miles better. And when both of them finish their careers, just by the stats, Messi will be miles better. See, the only question is loyalty. He should have considered fact his first season. Yeah, but City bought him, and that's why we got him probably cheaper than we should. Pep's first signing, even though he was injured. Now, look, he's getting to that stage of his career, whatever, 29 years old, where he's not going to have that many more years, and he feels he wants more game time. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of other clubs will give him game time and more money than City. If you went to Juventus, for instance, they'd pay him at least, I think, 250 to 300,000 euros a week. They seem to be paying everybody absolutely shed loads. Mike James, Jesus. Well, what Jesus has said, he's not going to go on holiday. He's going to be ready for pre-season. Personally, I'd like him to go on holiday for 2 weeks. I don't want him to go to China. Part of me thinks I don't want him to go to China, or at least take a week off. Take a week off, mate. Don't go straight from the Copper to Man City pre-season training. You know, I mean, for me, how does this sound? Going just to the Japan leg of the pre-season tour. How about that? But he wants to push for a starting spot. I mean, he should be. He should have the confidence and faith in his own abilities to push for a starting spot. Mike James, Jesus to start against Liverpool. I'd do that. I'd start him against. So I'm just going to press my. I need to get my charger in, guys, because we've been on for a long time. I want Gabby to start in the. So I'm just going to put my charger in, guys. I'd love Gabby to start in the Community Shield. But it's one of those. On one hand, I would like him to start because I want him to have that opportunity, obviously at a high level again in a good game against Liverpool, what will be a good game against Liverpool. But on the other hand, I want him to have a break. I want him to have a rest. But on the other hand, I want Sergio to have a break and to have a rest. So what do? Do you play Mahrez up front? Why not? No, but Mahrez is playing the AFCON. So you want him to have a rest as well. So I would love those three players to have a rest. To be honest, I don't want to see any of them play before Brazil. Come on, check City Chief to see how many players are coming back just before the Community Shield. We basically don't have a squad. I wouldn't worry, Kamal. Don't worry about it. I think City Chief is someone I blocked, so I don't follow them. I think they've done some. I can't remember what it was now. It's something I didn't like, and a few people were unhappy with them at the time. I think that was it. The City Chief guy, didn't he have a pop at David Silva? A dig at David Silva. I think that was it. It was really abusive. I think he copied him in as well, whether you look at it or not. And then he said he was drunk, so that's an excuse. That was his excuse for saying what he said. I don't believe that he was drunk. It didn't, if he was drunk, he would have said some gobbledygook. Okay, I think he was there to create a bit of a stir. He lost a few thousand. I think lost a few thousand subscribers, and then like anything else, people forget about it and move on, and they come back. Jose Cifuentes could be the next Marlos Moreno. Well, Mike, could be. Marlos. I remember Tim Vickery saying that he believed Marlos Moreno was better than Gabby Jesus. And Marlos Moreno fell off a cliff. Mukund, greatness still can't be all about stats. What about the way Messi plays? I agree, Mukund. But I said there's some people who go on about Ronaldo's current stats, and that's why he should be the greatest player ever or whatever. But look, he's a couple of years older than Messi. As I said, let them both finish their careers. Look at the way they play. I mean, I prefer Messi anyway. Even if you can argue he's not a team player, neither is Ronaldo. Let's be honest. And then if for those people who want to talk about current stats, look at the stats when they both retire and seeing who's done the business. Kamal, Jesus didn't have a cap for Brazil. I have no idea, Kamal. I didn't look into that. When you apply for a work permit, and if it gets rejected, you can appeal, and it depends what your appeal is, And if you can convince them that the person's got the talent, and they've got the skill, then they may have allowed him to come. But now I think I think what the point is, they're getting stricter and stricter, and they're going to make it more difficult. And so the requirement, the bar has been raised. So you've got to have played international football. Well, who cares? Honestly, I don't care about Sanchez and Ozil. Let them suffer in their own whatever. Why don't you think Gundogan? He's not done it enough for me. He's even more selfish than Messi. He might have won a couple of pots here and there. I just don't think. He's the second best player in the world right now, and he's been, in my opinion, the second best player in the world for over 10 years. Second best. Bernard, I'm sure City's fitness guys have advised about players coming back from international. Absolutely, you've got to have some rest. You've got to rest your body and you've got to rest your mind. Mukunda, I think pre-season should be starting, I suspect, next week. First game is in China on the 15th, I believe. So we must be going to China at least around the 13th, which has got to be a Monday. Off the top of my head, what date we're on the 6th, which is a Saturday. So 14th is next Sunday. Am I right? Yeah. So that's a bit late to start pre-season on the Monday, and then a day later or two go to China. I think it's got to start sometime next week. I had a quick look yesterday. I couldn't find the date. 4th, Jenna Papa, what's my starting 11? See, Chris, have a good one. Have a good evening. I can't do that, Gertiag. That's a long thought process. Best player in each position in the world. But just pick the City side. That'll do. City side plus Messi. There you go. My starting 11, Edison, Walker, Stones, Laporte, Mendy, Fernandinho, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo, Sterling, Aguero. There you go. Video, last season we played Hart and Bravo in the pre-season game, but both players weren't used for any comment. There you go. You can play anybody in the pre-season. Nick, yeah, I think Jesus will get a good run. I think, he's got the cup games already. He'll have a couple of Champions League games. He'll have plenty of league games. I think he'll get enough time. Matt Smith is in midfield. He's gone on loan to the Championship. Was it QPR? Off the top of me. Oh, these are all off the top of my head. It's nice to double check, but I think he's gone to QPR. It's quite funny because QPR have got a striker called Matt Smith, and I read a report. Matt Smith's gone from QPR to Millwall. And I thought, blimey, the guy's only gone on loan to QPR. How can he be? What's gone on? He's gone on loan to QPR, and QPR have sold him. I don't understand. And then I found out that it was an attacker called Matt Smith. Fourth gen Papa, I really want to see Jesus play more than, but I just love Aguero. Yeah, we all love Aguero. Gertie Ronaldo is the greatest in the Premier League on player to win the Ballon d'Or, possibly. Video, I had to watch preseason games. I'm sure they'll be streamed. Video. I'd be surprised if they're not. Gertiag, non-biased 11, please. I can't Gertiag. Honestly, I don't watch enough other football. There'll be some City players there. There'll be some Liverpool players there. Some from Barcelona. And maybe Ronaldo as well. Could we see Jesus and Aguero? Could do. Pep might go for a 3-5-2 occasionally. He might put Jesus on the left and Aguero up front, depending on the game and the need and the pressure we're under or whatever at the time. He could quite easily do something like that. If you got people like, for argument's sake, if you got Sane injured and Raheem Sterling injured and you're wondering what to do, well, put Jesus out on the left. Why not? I don't see any harm in that. Up to 14, 15 ticks. Absolutely, Bernard. Matt Smith was an old Doctor Who. Let's look at your messages, guys. Let's get back to your messages. I think it's going to be time for me soon. I've got to get up early tomorrow, and then we've got to go back to Manchester tomorrow. So let's have a look. Mike James, your assessment of Lucas Demetcha's loan at Preston. Only scored a couple of goals all season, but has often played out wide too. Yeah, it's hard to say, mate. When he first went, it's one of those. I'll be honest with you. When players first go out on loan, yeah, I'm keen to see what they're doing and how they're doing, and I follow as much as I can what they're doing. Okay, I follow as much as I can, but if they're not hitting the heights, like same with Jack Harrison at Leeds, Lucas Demetcha here at Preston, and then they kind of, and we get into the season, they kind of fall off the radar. Now, looking at his stats, he played 38 times for Preston in total last season, scoring 4 goals. So I assume that includes some cup stuff as well. I'm just guessing that. So, yeah, he played 33 games in the Championship, scored 2 goals in the Championship, 2 games in the League Cup, 1 game in the FA Cup. Well, actually, Wiki says he only scored 2 goals, which is really funny for Preston. So in their total it says he scored 2 goals, but in their summary it says he scored 4. Now, who knows? It's a funny old thing there. But he did a switch as well. He switched from England under-21s to Germany under-21s. Maybe he'll go to Germany. Who knows what he's going to do? But thing is, if you go into someone like Wiki, he has played wing before, so he plays. I think he wants to play up front, but he will play either wing. He can play on the left or the right wing if need be, because he is comfortable with both feet. So, but what's he going to do? How was it? Well, if you're going to play up front, anywhere up front, if you're going to play a striker or winger, I think you want more than 2 goals in 33 games. In all honesty, what's a good number? At least 8. 7 or 8, and that would have been decent. And I don't know how many assists he got, but 7 or 8 would have been reasonable. But he's not. I've said before, he's not going to come back to City, and his brother Felix is considered to be the better player. Last few questions, guys, and I'm going to have to knock it on the head. Will Sani get over his issue? I think so. If Sani stays, he'll be over what his, whether it's personal or attitude. He wouldn't stay unless he could sort that out. Got to eat your sweet. What's that sweet? Mate, Bernard, you haven't seen this yet. That's coming. That'll kill me, that. I was hoping some donuts that everybody would share them, but the kids have gone to bed, so I'll share them with myself. Vidya, he still uses inverted fullbacks. It just depends on the situation. It really does. Which player would you take from United? Oh, good. I won't take the keeper. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I used to like Martial and I used to like Rashford. Who would I take? Wouldn't be Pogba. I'd probably still take Rashford. Get him away from Lingard and those idiots. Get him to get his head down, knuckle down, and play football properly. Focus on his football. When Messi and Ronaldo retires, I'm convinced Bernardo. I think Bernardo's going to be knocking on the door. If he does what he did this season again next season, he's got to be getting closer. Fourth Jenny Papa, did you see the? I can't, mate. I'm on this live stream. I saw the Aguero goal, but I've been on this live stream and running around as well. I was on the phone because my computer crashed. I was installing some software, and it really got knackered all day, so I was sorting that out. Spent an hour with Apple dealing with that. Herence, hi Herence, hope you're well. Rodri and Angelina signings are great. Any news on filling Vinny's void? Well, there's rumours in the last few days that Fernandinho will move back. Now that we've got Rodri, Fernandinho will move back into centre back from time to time. And we've still got, remember who else we've already got? We've got Laporte and Stones and Otamendi, Garcia coming through. If Sandler goes to Anelect, as has been rumoured, he won't be here. But we've got enough through. And then if we need them, we have a problem at any time, Fernandinho can go back. Play at centre back. Video shock, yeah. If Man United win Premier League next season, then I will quit watching football. I'll quit quite a lot, mate. Bernard, after this weekend, will be Mr. Blobby. I was doing really well, but when I'm with the family, there's only so long you can say no to food. It's only so long you can say no. See, Doug, I think a lot of youngsters get brainwashed from the media or whenever saying the same, like City will never give you a chance. Angela, yeah, you will get. If look, the bottom line is, if any kid says City don't give you a chance, I say no. If you're good enough, you get your chance. If you're not good enough, you don't, and that's it. Kamal, I wouldn't want to hurt our reserve team by getting United players. Shooting practice. Would you shoot with them or at them? Video Shaka. These days, Messi's playing like Yaya Sanogo. Okay, last two things, guys. The free training course with the FA, coaching course. Last day to apply is tomorrow. I'll give you the email address, mancitychat@gmail.com. And don't know. I haven't seen enough of him, Mike. I have no take on DiMaggio. He's got a good lineage with Shawnee, Bradley, and Ian Wright. So he's going to take. If he takes something from them, he's got a chance. Now, yeah, the FA coaching courses that I'm offering. Last day to contact me is tomorrow. I'm paying for the course fee, so the fee is totally free. You'll have to cough up for travel and food and whatever, but I'll pay the course fee. I've had a few, I think I've had 5 or 6 people apply so far. Last day is tomorrow. The 3 courses I'm offering at some point during the next season. There's the FA Level 1 coaching course, the Futsal Level 1 course, and the FA Referees course. So I want someone to do that. Yeah, Mike, I've considered everybody, Mike, okay? And what I've said is, as soon as we monetize the site, my desire, my hope is that every season I'll offer these 3 courses. Every single season. Muck and take it easy, mate. Every single season I'll offer 3, and I want all 3 to be filled. And I'd like to think that as we go into, not this season coming, the one after, if we've got 3,000 or 4,000 people on YouTube following us, yeah, then I'd like to think that we'd get each of those courses filled. That's my desire. I've told you guys I love education. It's my passion, education, helping people, and fighting against inequalities, whether it's in health or in society. I try my best. Yeah, I try my best. Don't always get it right. You know, sometimes we're complex people. We don't always get it right, but I genuinely try my best. Hey, Wissy, you're on a bit late, mate. We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. About to call it a day. Bernard, I don't need a brown envelope, mate. You know, you're too old. But look, it's open to anybody. I don't care how old you are. I don't care whether you're male, whether you're female, where you're from. I don't care about anything, okay? I care about the person. And if the person really, really wants to do it, then I'll support them. Fourth Jenna Papa, if we win the CL, I'm quite happy to take the glasses off. If you go back and see some of the videos, I've taken them off on a couple of live streams on the other channel. I took the glasses off when I did the my Sun Truths video. Go back and check it out. You know, there was no glasses there. You got 47 minutes of me. So, but definitely, if we win the Champions League, I'll take my glasses off. Absolutely no question about that. So don't forget, there's that issue. I've said if we get if you want to apply for one of those free coaching courses, let me know. And the other thing, I'm just gonna pull it up now because I think the other thing I was talking about, it's just about to happen now. It should have happened already today. Thanks to you guys, fingers crossed, we should have happened already. It's not updated it. It's not updated it, that's a shame. But today we've hit 240,000 minutes on YouTube. 240,000 minutes. That's one of the 2 criteria that YouTube set to monetize the site. So I've hit the 240,000. I think yesterday it had come to 239,226. So there wasn't that much left needed to get to 240,000. And the video I put out today helped to smash that. The video, this live stream tonight. So we smashed the 240,000 minutes in under 1 month. Could not have done it without you guys, with your support and commitment and assistance. Thanks to everybody who's supported the site, who's subscribed, commented. You know, the number of comments, I looked at it, I thought, wow, we're having thousands and thousands of comments in 30 days. It's something like, it's wow, 100 comments a day, over 100 comments a day on average. So very, very good. Thank you guys. Love you all for that. You know, really do, from the bottom of my heart. Apart from those goons that come on from time to time, but I love you really, guys. I love you as well because, you know, I pity you. You know, so I throw out my love to you as well because I pity you for doing such buffoonish things. So yeah, smashing 240,000 minutes. Next target is to smash the 1,000 subscribers barrier. Anything you guys can do to help, gratefully received. Yeah, let's have a look. Bernard, you're never too old. Hit that bell, Rissy. Hit that bell icon so you're notified next time, and get on as soon as you can. See you, Mike. Have a good night, mate. Kamal, happy birthday. You're still old enough to be my granddad. Bernard Denis, 59 in 12 months. I didn't know it's Bernard's birthday today. 60 today. There you go for Bernard. See you, Cole. Nice to have you on board. Thanks for our moderator there. Fortunately, I think the goons have decided that if you comment, you get blocked, and they don't want to do that. So they just give that down tick and move on. Cheers, Kamal. Have a good night, guys. Yeah, have a great night. I'm get on to me donuts, have me sweet, and get some shut eye. And up there, fingers crossed I can run more than 3 miles tomorrow. That's my target. I'd love to run 5 miles tomorrow. It would be awesome. Honestly, guys, if you get the chance, go out running in the morning. Go out running or do some sort of physical exercise. Get out of breath. And if you're anything like me, the rest of the day has the potential to be fantastic. Get some exercise done early in the morning. Have a nice hot bath or shower. And start that day. A load of water. And you'll start that day. You'll be buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Especially if you don't do a lot of exercise. You should be buzzing. Happy birthday. Herence is wishing Bernard a happy birthday. Bottoms up. And guys, have a good one. Bernard, your birthday's almost over. You've got 10 minutes of your birthday left. Have one on me. And you guys, as I said, anybody in London over the summer, if you want to meet up for a coffee, I'll buy the coffees. No problem. You know, I think I can stretch to that. I might have to ask my wife if she'll lend me the money, but I think I can stretch to a coffee, guys. But yeah, if you're in Manchester or London during the summer, let me know if we can meet up, as I've done with a couple of people already. You know, we don't have to record it. You know, you don't have to do it. Everything doesn't have to be on camera. We'll just have a good time, meet up, and have a brew, and chat city and chat life. See you around, guys.